Hi, welcome to Concordia On-Air. I'm Gabe.
And I'm Lizzie.
And on tonight's show...
In news, the Supreme Court debate on DACA.
In sports, the Supreme Basketball Court.
And on A&E, an interview with one of our hosts.
All that and more on Concordia On-Air. Oh, so how are you doing today, Gabe? What's your week been like?
I'm doing good. It is snowy out and therefore icy. But overall, not too bad. Not too bad. How are you?
Pretty good. I'm actually thinking it's quite warm today, considering it's been like 5 or so degrees, 10 degrees. Now it's like 26 today, I think.
Yeah. So big improvement. Improvement.
We don't even need coats anymore.
Gold star for Minnesota. But yeah, so you've been getting around campus good with snow. Mm-hmm. Anything crazy traffic-wise?
Well, there's an accident like right outside of Advancement Center.
Oh, really?
Like 2 days ago, yesterday? I don't know, it was very recently. And there's a 3-car pileup, but everyone looked to be okay, and it was fine. But I was walking to work, and I was like, what? What's happening? But everyone was okay, and everything was fine.
Wow.
So
wow.
it was just ice.
Those conditions, man. Take your time. It's no need to rush to work. Boss man can wait or boss lady can wait. But other than that, how are classes going?
Pretty well. I'm in a Shakespeare class right now with David
really?
Sprunger, and I absolutely adore it. I think it's very fun. It's a lot of reading, a lot of plays. We read about one Shakespeare play a week, which is pretty hefty considering a lot of his plays are like 5 or so acts.
Yeah.
But it's really fun, and it's really interesting to like read out loud with your classmates and have that dynamic in the classroom.
Right. That's really cool. That is really cool.
Yeah.
I am in a painting class this semester, and we just almost wrapped up with our last acrylic painting, and now we're moving on to oil, which will be like a surrealist expressionist piece, so it'd be really cool. But the semester has just gone by so quickly. Doesn't it feel like that? Oh,
I know.
Man.
It's already halfway through November almost.
Wow. That's crazy.
It's insane. And speaking about your art classes, you're also in charge of designing a new logo for Concordia On-Air, aren't you?
That's right.
How's that going for you?
Good. Things are moving along really nicely. The plan is that the logo will be done before the end of the semester, depending on coursework and stuff like that. But I'm really excited to actually show you guys what I have for you guys, and I think you guys are really going to like it. So
I have a random question for you.
Yeah,
I just popped into my head. What is a movie you've seen recently that you just were like, oh my God, this is such a good movie? Like, I need movie suggestions.
Oh man. So a movie that I've seen recently was Maleficent. And it's a really good movie. If you haven't seen it yet, what are you doing? Go see it. It is an amazing movie. I think that the videography is amazing. They really shot it really nicely. The cast is just packed with an amazing, diverse group of people that really make it feel like a world, and that's really awesome.
It's good. Yeah, that's a movie I kind of had like the same experience with the Joker movie. I went and saw it, and I was like, oh my God, this movie is to die for. I walked out just feeling like I wanted to see it 100 times, but I mean, I don't have the money for that. But enough about movies. Let's move on to news.
Hi, I'm Elise.
And I'm Andrew.
This Friday, the Diversity, Equity, Inclusion Commission will be hosting a poverty simulation on campus. In 2019 alone, 93.6 million Americans lived in poverty every day, 1/3 of whom were children. It can be difficult to imagine the difficult situations these families face on a daily basis. From how a person falls into poverty to the external factors which make it complex to escape. The purpose of the poverty simulation is to provide a glimpse into what it is like to live in poverty through assuming the role of a family member living on a low budget. The event will be held in Olsen Forum from 2 to 6 p.m., and participants must sign up before the event using the link found in the DEIC emails and on posters around the campus. The event is free and refreshments will be served.
2019 is the 50th year of the Arts and Humanities Building, which has been known as the Francis Fraser Comstock Theater since 1980. In honor of the building's history, the Cyrus M. Running Gallery opened a new exhibit Monday titled 50 Years Brewed, a celebration of Concordia Theater in the Francis Fraser Comstock Theater. The exhibit contains photos, memorabilia, and displays from various shows that the theater has put on over the years. A public reception will be held from 4 to 5:30 this Thursday, tomorrow to celebrate the opening, and the display will be up until December 15th.
In Moorhead's recent referendum, voters approved a $110 million bond that will fund the building of a new high school and career academy in the city of Moorhead. The bond passed with 75.6% of votes, showing a great amount of community support for local schools. The first goal of Moorhead Public Schools is to construct a new academic wing of the high school in the location which is currently the school's parking lot. Construction is expected to begin as early as next spring and is planned to be complete by 2024. The bond will also fund the renovation of what used to house Sam's Club into a new career academy. Faculty and parents hope that these updated facilities will help to promote the growth that students need.
Students at the University of Minnesota recently had the opportunity to build a satellite that was launched November 2nd. The school's Small Satellite Research Group is an interdisciplinary organization made up of roughly 30 students from aerospace engineering, physics, and astrophysics. The students began collaborating with faculty 3 years ago as a part of the Undergraduate Student Instrument Program, a program sponsored by NASA and the U.S. Air Force Office of Scientific Research that provides opportunities for undergraduates to build and launch small satellites. The CUBE satellite has been named Signal Opportunity CubeSat Ranging and Timing Experiment System, or SOCRATES for short. The satellite is equipped with X-ray sensor detectors that help deep space navigation when GPS is not available, and will also collect data on sun flares. SOCRATES is currently on the International Space Station and is scheduled to be launched in Earth's orbit in January of 2020.
Yesterday, the Supreme Court debated over the fate of DACA, the Deferred Action for Childhood Arrivals program. The program, created in 2012, shields about 700,000 undocumented immigrants who arrived in the U.S. as children from deportation and grants them eligibility to receive work permits. The Trump administration, however, shared plans to end the program in 2017, and the case has just now made its way to court. Proponents of ending DACA argue that the program itself is unlawful and cite the fate of the Deferred Action for Parents of Americans, which was declared unlawful in 2016, as justification for this ruling. Meanwhile, those in favor of protecting DACA argue that exposing young, working-class people who grew up in the United States to deportation would be unethical, as well as that this would be damaging to the economy. While the Supreme Court is still deciding on the matter, both sides wait for their ruling.
On Monday, Elon Musk's SpaceX launched 60 more satellites in Earth's low orbit. The launch for these satellites is the second out of 6 needed to bring the company's Starlink program to North America. And Musk has said that the company will need at least 800 satellites for strong service in North America. The Federal Communications Commission has approved for this company to send up to 12,000 satellites, and it's quite possible that this number could reach 30,000 someday. The rocket company is planned to launch its global service after 24 more launches, which is primarily intended for those who either overpay or do not have access for broadband internet services. And now, onto an interview with Paige from Thursdays in Black.
Hello, my name is Allegra, and I'm here with Paige McAdams, who is a student leader of the Thursdays in Black movement here on Concordia's campus. Welcome, Paige.
Thank you for having me.
Yes. Can you tell us a little bit about what Thursdays in Black is and where it originated?
Absolutely. So Thursdays in Black is a campaign started by the World Council of Churches back in, I believe, 1988. And it was recently adopted by the ELCA back in August at the Churchwide Assembly. And here in Concordia, we've just started adopting the movement. Myself and Kayla Zotfi are the social justice organizers for Campus Ministry Commission. So we work on projects such as Thursdays in Black that help to kind of raise awareness to issues that we care about here on campus.
And what issue is Thursdays in Black highlighting?
So Thursdays in Black is a movement that highlights gender-based violence. So it focuses mostly on raising awareness to and fighting against gender-based violence. The whole slogan for it is a world without violence. So all you have to do is wear black on Thursdays, and you have to be intentional about it. That's kind of the point. We wear black in our everyday lives, but the point of wearing it specifically on Thursday is it's a visual representation of people fighting against this issue that we face, even here on campus and around the world.
Wow. What is your favorite Thursdays in Black outfit to wear?
I have like black dress pants and these like black boots that remind me of Rachel from Friends, and then this like black long sleeve and then a black sweater. So I do like the whole black look, like everything, but you don't have to do that. You can wear dark gray if that's all you have.
Okay.
It's about being intentional, and you don't have to wear all black either. You can just wear a black sweater or black pants.
Okay. And when you wear black, is it a reminder to you of all the victims of gender-based violence, or is it both, like a message to the world of this is how many victims there are, we really need to create awareness and move towards a world without this violence?
Yeah, it's kind of a combination of the two, I'd say. So it reminds me, because I'm being intentional about it, to think about all of those affected by that issue, even people here on our campus that have been affected by gender-based violence. And it's also a visual sign to the world saying, hey, look at all these people that are in support of these victims of gender-based violence and their strength and their resilience. And I think the more people on campus that we can get to start being involved and being vocal about this issue, the better.
So besides wearing black on Thursdays, how else can people get involved?
A really good way for students to get involved is actually tabling with us. So on Thursdays, we're going to be having a table set up in the atrium, talking about our organization that we're partnering with for the month, our on-campus org, and then also the organization outside of campus that we will be donating Wednesday night's communion money to for that month. So for last month, we focused on missing and murdered Indigenous women and girls. So we all wore black, but with an accent of red, because that's the color for that movement. And so all of the money that we raised on Wednesday nights at communion, we donated to the Fargo-Moorhead Task Force for that issue. And so we do specific focuses. So you can come to communion on Wednesday nights and volunteer, or you can come and table with us on Thursdays and spread the word to your friends and family.
What organization is getting the donations this month?
I don't remember the name of the organization, but it focuses on women's reproductive rights this month. And we're partnering with the International Student Organization here on campus.
Wow.
Yeah.
Are there differences in who is affected by gender-based violence, like women of color versus non-women of color?
Yeah. Yeah. So we see that women of color, non-heterosexual, members of the LGBTQIA plus community are disproportionately affected by this issue. So it's something that we need to be aware of and raise awareness to, and I hope that you'll join us.
And we need to use our social privilege to hopefully draw awareness away. So let's move towards a world without gender-based violence, and let's also move on to sports.
Good evening, sports fans. I'm Grant.
And I'm Dom.
And in football, coming off a huge upset of St. John's, Concordia hosted St. Olaf for the 46th annual Lefse Bowl. The snow falling on the field throughout the game made conditions cold and slippery, and also made the field look kind of like my Lefse after I sprinkle some sugar on it. One of the biggest plays of the game occurred when Concordia's senior quarterback, Blake Cragness, had to exit the game in the first quarter due to an injury, and junior Sean McGuire took over. It took a while, but McGuire was able to settle into the offense just in time for the Cobbers to march down the field and score a touchdown 6 seconds before the half. Concordia sophomore Austin Einerson managed to score his first touchdown of the season in the fourth quarter to give the Cobbers a 14-0 lead and seal the game away for Concordia. Linebacker Alex Berg also managed to secure a spot on the Division III National Team of the Week, and he's the second Cobber to do so in as many weeks. The victory moves the Cobbers to 4-3 in the MIAC and 4-5 overall. This is also Concordia's 8th straight Lefse Bowl victory and 36th overall. The Cobbers will finish off the 2019 season next weekend at Carleton.
Snow is on the ground again, so you know what that means. Basketball is back. Concordia's women's basketball team opened up their season last Friday against the University of Minnesota Morris.
Concordia finished their first quarter with an 18-16 lead and never looked back from there. The Cobbers put up 30 points in the second quarter alone en route to a 78-63 win to open up the season. Concordia freshman Emily Baseman had an impressive debut with a team-high 23 points and 7 assists in her first collegiate game. Junior Elizabeth Berkmeyer led the team with a career-high 10 rebounds as well as 8 points and 6 assists of her own. The Cobbers' next game will be this Friday in Mayville at 7 p.m. when they take on the 4-0 Comets.
Concordia's men's team are on the road in Wisconsin after dropping their season opener against Minnesota Morris 86-82. The Cobbers faced off against Wisconsin Superior yesterday in hopes of picking up their first win of the season. Concordia found themselves trailing 43-15 at halftime, but mounted an impressive comeback in the second half. Unfortunately, it was too little too late for the Cobbers as they fell 75-69. Superior shooting in the first half was lights out. They shot 72% from the floor and 75% from behind the arc. Senior Tommy Shima did his best to help Concordia's comeback attempt with a team-high 25 points and 5 assists. Shima is now averaging 26 points per game over the team's first 2 games and will hopefully keep it up as the team travels south for a game against Wisconsin Stout in Menominee tonight.
Both Concordia's men's and women's hockey teams are back on the ice for the start of their respective seasons. So far, the men have played 4 games and are 1-3. They lost their first 2 games of the season to Concordia, Wisconsin and Milwaukee School of Engineering, but managed to split a 2-game series with the Wisconsin River Falls for their first victory of the season. Their next game will be Friday night at 7 p.m. where they host St. Mary's. The women have played 3 games this season and are 2-1 thus far. After being defeated by St. Benedict in the season opener, the Cobbers won 2 straight games in their home against Northland by scores of 4-3 and 1-0. The women will also play against St. Mary's on Friday, but at St. Mary's. Best of luck to both men and women this season. Now, on to A&E.
Hi, I'm Gabe, and welcome to A&E. I'm joined today by our very own host, Allegra, who is here to talk a little bit about her experience playing violin. So, Allegra, how long have you been playing violin for?
Thanks, Gabe, and thank you for having me. I have been playing the violin since I was 8 years old.
Oh, wow. So that's quite a few years then.
Yeah, 13 or something.
Cool. Did you pick the instrument, or did your parents put you into the lessons, or?
No, I do not think it was my decision.
Oh, okay. I kind of feel that with piano lessons. That was me, 2nd grade, and never was a big fan.
I'm glad that they put me in lessons, but I don't think as an 8-year-old I would have had the self-awareness to choose what instrument really worked for me.
That's true, definitely. Yeah, if it had been my choice when I was getting put into lessons for things, I probably never would have learned an instrument. So, are you a part of any music groups here at Concordia or outside of Concordia?
Yes, I am. I play violin in the Concordia Orchestra. We actually have a concert this weekend, Sunday at 12:30, little plug for that. And I also sing soprano in the a cappella female singing group here called Harmonia.
Cool. So no rock bands outside of Concordia or anything like that?
Oh my gosh, I wish. Do you want a fiddle in your rock band? Here I am.
Yeah, if anybody's looking for a fiddler, we got one here. What first inspired you or got you interested in music in general?
My family is very musical. My mom actually studied music a little bit in university, and it's been a lifelong passion of everyone in my family, I feel like. Except for my dad, I guess.
Oh, yeah, there's always that one.
We all play music, he plays football.
Yes. A good balance there between the arts and sports.
Yeah.
Is this your first instrument, or are there any other instruments that you've played before?
I started out on piano in grade 1 or grade 2, and I took lessons for 2 or 3 years, and then I switched to violin. So I guess I sort of play piano.
Okay.
And I sing a little bit.
That's good, though. So tell me a little bit about your instrument and, like, maybe parts of it or how to play it or something like that.
Sure. So this is the violin or the fiddle. You can call it either, really. The difference is the style of music that you play on it. And this is the bow. So how you play it is you put the string on the bow, and the bow causes the string to vibrate, and you can change the pitch by shortening the string. And then it resonates.
So now, this is kind of an odd thing, but I've heard before, and I don't know if it's true, so you could probably clarify it for me. Is the bowstring made out of horsehair?
Yes,
So that is true. Is that for all violins?
I believe so. Bleached horsehair. Some of it may be synthetic now.
Okay, I suppose they probably have come up with something like that to
Yeah,
use.
there's probably more options.
Okay, that's interesting though.
Originally, it was all horse hair, bow hairs, and gut strings.
Oh, so kind of like sinew, or
Yeah,
I think that's what they call it,
exactly.
something like that.
Yeah.
Geez, that is really interesting. I suppose they used what they had back when they were first making them.
Right.
What's one thing that you love the most about playing music, or playing violin specifically?
It has to be the community of people. Music brings me closer to so many people. I think it can bridge a lot of gaps. It's been called the universal language.
That is true.
So that's what's most important to music for me, is not really playing, I guess, but the humanitarian aspect
Yeah,
of
just
bringing
being
people together.
Involved in that whole group, especially I suppose when you're playing in a large band like the Concordia Orchestra that you mentioned.
Right.
I suppose that definitely makes that a lot more fun to do that, because you're surrounded by all sorts of other musicians and that sort of thing.
So many brilliant
Yeah.
musicians.
And
Yeah.
it makes it so much better than just being a soloist, because you have all that added sound and talent in there.
Yeah, you're not alone. It's a community.
Yeah, exactly.
You all make music together. It's really special.
All right. So what's some advice that you would want to give to any aspiring musicians,
Oh my gosh. Aspiring musicians.
whether young or old?
I mean, it's a little cliche, but just stick with it. It gets hard at times. Like, if I'm practicing and something doesn't quite go my way, I'll get frustrated and want to quit, but you really just have to take a deep breath, calm down, and keep playing. And as I said, the music for me is mostly about the people I'm with, so
All right.
find people to play with. You'll be happy.
Yeah, well, that's as good advice as any, I suppose. And now, a package on the winter clothing drive by the DEIC.
My name is Prashansa Maharjan. I'm a senior and I'm the Social Justice Commissioner for DEIC. DEIC is the Diversity, Equity, Inclusion Commission. Our mission is to basically put up fun as well as educational programming on campus that obviously focus around diversity, equity, inclusion, that, gives students a space to get closer to their identities, learn more about other people, and just have a space where everyone feels welcome and heard.
Then DIC put this on. So my friend was running it and who doesn't want to look at new clothes. So I went in to take a look and I got 2 jackets.
I think it's a really cool concept that we do. I think it has a lot of great implications, sustainable, trading in clothes, and then people who can't afford to buy new winter clothes come and take clothes that they need, especially coming on the weather soon. So yeah, I think it's a really cool concept and I love that we do it here.
So yeah, it's a way of being sustainable and passing things on that we don't wear anymore, and just being more conscious people.
One of the more basic reasons is it gives you a chance to have a new thing. You're like, ooh, this is fun. Another reason why this one's really important is this is a winter clothing swap, and so there's jackets and mittens and hats, and so for people that may not be able to afford those things, it gives them a really cheap, free option to have something to keep them warm, because it's cold in Moorhead.
Oh yeah. I think I would like it to be bigger, and I think it could be bigger and go throughout the whole community too, and really try to elevate it on a scale to really make it even more emphasized and drive that message home.
I hope DEIC grows as a commission, more attendance at our events. I know it's kind of hard because there's a lot of heavy hot button issues and topics that we also like to cover. In November we're having an abortion panel, which can be very interesting in this area, but it's an important topic to talk about, and sometimes it makes people uncomfortable. So I hope in the future we create a space where people can feel more comfortable and more open-minded to listen to others and also express their own views, and just take it as both a fun and learning component, and just continue on, brewing and doing all the fun things we do at Concordia.
This has been Grant, Tiara, and Allie, Concordia On Air.
Once again, my name's Allegra. I'm just going to do a few fiddle tunes for you all. This is called Artiscu.
Thanks. This has been Concordia On Air. See you next week.